Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cabbage Patch Soap. My name is Laura, and today we will be making Victorian Christmas soap, and we will be using the heat transfer method. And we will also be using some orange slices as a decoration for the top. It's going to be really fun. So, if you enjoy this video and if you'd like to help me out, um, go ahead and give this video a like and consider subscribing. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers so we can open up the community tab. So that is my goal, and I hope you guys have fun watching this video. I'm just going to take a second here to set up my chats and make sure everything is working. Um, Sometimes when we start these lives, it likes to filter the chat, so I only see some of them. So I'm just fixing that right now. Okay. I see the next part, just a second. We will also be cutting the soap that we made on Thursday. Okay, just a moment here. All right. Looks like, there we go. Looks like the live chat is working now. Hi, Stacy. Welcome. Okay, so let's get this pulled forward here. Trying to get this to be in frame. Something is crooked. I don't know if it's the table or the camera, but it is probably something. Okay. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just lined everything up wrong. That could also be possible. Okay, so here is the soap we made last time. This was with the sweater weather fragrance. This smells so good. I did end up making it into a wearable oil just to see how it wears. It smells really good on the skin too, so I keep picking it up and smelling it. It smells really, really fresh, but also um, more of like a woodsy fresh than the typical fresh. It's got like juniper berry in it and stuff. It's really nice. Okay. Yeah, the camera looks straight to you. I think it's I kind of tilted everything wonky to get everything to line up, so I'm glad I'm glad that worked. All right, so let me just pop this out real quick. The soap feels nice and firm, so that's good. It's it's set up nicely, I think, so far. All right, the top of it did anyway. Look how cool the bottom looks. Really wispy. It's got that cool, like, looks like an outline going around it. Okay, so we need to cut it this way. All right. Just gonna line it up, and we'll see how it turned out on the inside. Pretty excited to see this one because I'm always excited to see how they turn out. Um, all right, little straggly pieces of soap. All right, let's see how this looks. Let's start on the end this time. Oh, that's cool. Oh, looks really neat. Okay, that's a different swirl. Yeah, I like how that came out. That's really cool looking. I got this side here. And I like how this looks kind of cold and icy a little bit, and then we got the sweater patterned on top. You like the colors together? Thank you. Yeah, I like blue. It plays nicely with a lot of different things. So yeah, I think this gives wintry vibes. Oh yeah, and the top. That one. I'm really liking this hash mark thing that I'm doing on the tops. I might start using it more, but I gotta find something like I don't know, something to go with it. I think that'd be kind of cool, or maybe just do it like along the top one end and then something else on the bottom. But yeah, so that's how that last bar looks. It's like an iceberg. Yeah, this smells so good. I really, really like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and whoops. These are the end pieces for cutting up into samples later, and even those have little hash marks on top. Okay, so this one came out pretty good. I'm happy with this one. So I like the fragrance. It's not, and one of the things about this too is this is not an overpowering fragrance. This isn't one that's like so super strong. I know some people prefer a lighter fragrance, or at least a fragrance that's not as aggressive, and this is not an aggressive fragrance at all. So this is perfect if you just want something that has like a subtle nice smell to it, but you don't want it to completely take over and permeate everything. So this is a good one for that. And also it could easily be a unisex fragrance. So if you want to buy something that smells nice that anybody can use and nobody's gonna complain, this is a good one. It's not flowery at all. It's not um I don't know. It doesn't have what most people would consider like, it's not super super feminine, although um it could easily be a woman's fragrance as well. But it doesn't. But it's not like, I'm not really sure how they determine what really is a unisex fragrance or what is, masculine or feminine or whatever. I'm not sure what all goes into that. Maybe that's something we could, you know, s- I could look into later and let you guys know what I found out. But it doesn't have, um, it's not like super floral, and it doesn't smell like cologne or anything like that. So it's not strongly one way or the other, and it's just clean and fresh smelling, and it's got those like the juniper berries in it, like I was saying, and it just smells to me kind of like the woods, really, really fresh, but without those. Sometimes like the foresty smells can have like those dead leaf notes. It doesn't have that, so it's different than those other ones. Let me see what you're saying here, real quick. I didn't put anything new in the store yet. I didn't update that yet. I am still making the labels, and I'll announce that. So don't worry, you won't miss anything. I'll announce it. I do have my the email list down below. I think it says something like sign up to get 10% off your first order or something like that. But that's the email list. If you sign, I know I think you're already on it, but um, for people who aren't, if you sign up for that, then anytime I do a new soap release or if I'm doing a sale or an announcement, that's where I send it. Yeah, you are on it. Yeah, I think so. So anything new going out, you guys find out first because I email you. Sometimes I even do like an email beforehand, letting you know that okay, in a couple of days this is coming out, and just to prepare you, so that nobody misses anything because I don't want you guys to miss out on something. So for anybody else who isn't already signed up, if you sign up down there, then I will be able to keep you in the loop. And let me put this away real quick. All right, so that's put away. Okay. Yeah, nothing new has been put out yet. So today we are going to do. Oh, and also before I forget, because this is what, remember last time on Monday, no, Thursday, I was saying, oh, I can't remember. There's something I was going to say and I can't remember. I'm just going to say it now so I don't forget. If anybody who is watching the live, if you have a YouTube channel or if you have any kind of social media where you have like your own, maybe you have your own products or your own whatever, something you want to share, feel free to leave the name of your YouTube channel or your social media, whatever it is that you use, leave it in the comments, and that way people can find you. So you can either leave a comment or in like the chat or in the comments below if you're watching this later on. Feel free to add your information so that people can find you. I'm just getting my face shield real quick. I know Stacy has an Instagram where she shares the tumblers and things that she makes. She does a lot of cool stuff, and like I think you do diamond painting too, right? If I'm remembering correctly. So there's a lot of cool stuff she does. And Wanda's not here, I don't think, but Wanda's craft. No, Wanda's got a channel too. Is it Wanda's Crafty Creations? I think I'm starting to get people mixed up. Anyway, it's because I am tired and prone to make extra mistakes. Let me go ahead and take off this headset real quick so I can put my face shield on. One moment. That's it. Wanda's Blessed Creations. Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, that's Wanda's channel. Okay, so today we're going to do the heat transfer method before I forget. So this is the oil, and this is how it looks before it gets melted. There's some olive oil in here, which is why it's fluid. And then I kind of, I don't know the right term, mash up there's some coconut oil that I melt before I pour it in. And then the palm oil. So the palm oil, I kind of just mash it like to get it to smaller pieces. And oh, you do what? Diamond painting. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do, and you don't have to do this, but because this is such a small amount, and the way the heat transfer method works is you mix the lye into your water and you don't let it cool down. You immediately, or pretty much immediately, you mix it into your oils. Since it's such a small amount, it cools down really quick. So what I like to do is mix up these oil pieces, um, and get them to be more smooth. And then that way, when I put the heat in, it'll finish melting the oils, but it won't have any pieces to deal with, so that there's less chance of there being like oil chunks in here. So I'm going to do that first really quick. You can see some of these pieces are bigger than others. Now, if I had a larger like recipe I was making, then I could do it without doing this step. This step is unnecessary. In fact, it might be unnecessary anyway, but I like to be on the safe side. We got some air bubbles in there. That's fine, doesn't matter. Okay, and so then we've got to make up the lye water. So here is the water. It's got the sea salt already melted into here. And before I go any further, just in case there's some acceleration, what we are going to be coloring this with is the titanium dioxide right here, which I already have dispersed in oil. And we will be using this Maya Gold, which is from Nurture Soap. And that's what that looks like. It's really pretty. We'll be doing kind of a swirl like we did with the other two. But the titanium dioxide you can also get from Nurture Soap. And I will put the links. There's links already down there. They're affiliate links. Doesn't cost you anything extra to order from them, though. And I'm considering possibly on the top maybe dusting with a little bit of this gold, the same gold. And this is one of the Nurture Soap's mica dusters. I don't know yet. We'll see. And then I will also be putting these orange slices, which I have cut in half. We're going to be putting them in on top. I thought that'd be cute because the fragrance we're using is Victorian Christmas. And I set the bottle down. Let me grab it real quick. And I thought that was like perfect for that fragrance. And Victorian Christmas is one of my favorite holiday fragrances because it just has a very nostalgic, very comforting smell to it. And move this out of the way so I can show you. So here it is. This is the bottle, and I get a big bottle of this because I will use it for sure. And it's one of the most popular ones. Also, it sells really well. Like people really seem to like it. And yeah, I want to put it in other things. I'm thinking maybe doing a car freshie with it. I think it'd be really, really nice to have on the tree, actually. I want to make ornaments. So we can kind of look, and maybe that's something that I can share with you soon. So that I'm hoping to be able to share that with you. Let me see what you were saying here. Going to make the air fresheners out of them. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Oh, out of the oranges? I don't know because these are natural. They're real oranges, and I don't know if I was to put them on an air freshener. I don't know. Like I'd be worried about them like rotting or attracting bugs. Um, so these are just like a decoration on the soap. And typically with decorations like this, you take it off the soap and throw it away before you use it. So it's just there to be pretty. Or you can compost it because it's like a natural orange. But yeah, I don't know about putting it in an air freshener. I have to do some research on that and see if that would be safe to do. But I would think like if you park and it sits in the car and if the car gets warm, I kind of know what that would do to the orange. It's dried, but it would be really, really pretty. Oh, the scent. Yes, I'm sorry, Stacy. Yeah, the scent. I would like to make air fresheners with it. It's such a good one. I think people would really, really like it. So I'm definitely going to try it with air fresheners, the scent, not the oranges. But let me go ahead. I'm going to measure out the lye. Um, Let me just do that really quick. And since this lye, again, is so little of it, what I normally do, okay, that's perfect. Okay, good. Normally what I do with it is, and you always, by the way, if you're ever using lye, just because I'm doing this is like safety precautions, always wear gloves and always wear goggles or a face shield or something to protect your eyes. You don't want this. You don't want this to get in your eyes. It's a very caustic substance, so it doesn't play nice. But anyways, you can see it's already like clouding and heating up, and then after a couple of minutes, it goes clear. We might not even need to wait for that, but anyways, I'm just swirling it because there's so little of it. This is how I mix it, and it mixes up perfect every time. When I have larger amounts, though, I have to get like a whisk or something or a fork and or a spoon or something and mix it properly. But this is a very tiny amount. Okay, see there, it's going clear again. It's starting to go clear. So, and this is extremely hot. It only fills up about that much of the bottom, and all the way up here where my hands are, I can feel the heat coming off of this. This will burn you. So normally when I have it on the table, I'll set it like on a rag like this or something to cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is pour it in here immediately so it can start melting the oils. And because even though these are softened to the point of looking melted, the palm oil in there is not melted. Let me get this set back up here. Just put this on here. Okay, and we're just going to go straight into it. And the only downside to this is sometimes it will accelerate the soap making process because it's starting out warm. But since the oils are cool, see, look at that. See how it's melting? Like the oils are just getting melted immediately. And now it's starting to look more like how my batter normally looks. So that's how you do the heat transfer method. It's just you pour the hot lye into your oils and it melts them. And we got the little pieces of oil there that didn't get smoothed out all the way. They're starting to melt. A little piece there. Okay. And it's gone. It's already melted. Okay. And I'm going to feel the side. It feels warm but not hot. Since the oils were about room temperature, they knock this down, knock the heat down. Okay, but I'm not going to go further than that. I don't think I'm going to give this a second. I want to take some of this off to pour to mix the gold. Okay. Okay. We're not going to do too much because I don't want it to take over the design. I'm kind of liking this way that we've been doing it the past couple of times. Okay. Let me see what you're saying here. Your mom loves to put on a pan of water in the stove and low heat with orange slices, cinnamon sticks, cloves. Oh yeah, yeah. This scent is really it's like that. It's got the scent of the like holiday spices in it. It's got they're supposed to be like pine kind of notes, but they're there, but they're not like in the front, like forefront. You don't smell pine when you smell the soap usually. It's just there. It's like the Christmas. It's like if you imagine an old Victorian home with like a beautiful Christmas tree and there's like a feast laid out and there's all the desserts and the spices and like you said the pan of water on the stove with the spices kind of just warming on it and just the whole house just smells like heaven basically. That's what this smells like. I love this fragrance. I actually made some salt sizzlers with it because I wanted to see how good it smelled, like if it worked with the salt, and it's perfect for that. In fact, your mom might like that, but might like that in a salt sizzler too, because then she wouldn't have to have the pan of water on the stove. It would free up her stove, and she could just use a candle warmer. Okay, so this is mixing in really good. I'm seeing if it's going to thicken up. It looks fine. All right, we're going to mix in this white. I always shake it up first because you never know. Oh, she doesn't cook. Okay, never mind then. I have to cook, so I like having my stove free whenever possible. So this heat transfer method that we just used, this is really, really good unless you're doing something that you know is going to accelerate. So If you're doing florals, this is not the way to go. At least for me, it's not. Other people might be able to get it work. If you do the heat transfer method all the time, and you know, if that's what you do all the time, you might be able to get away with it. But I know that I would not. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put the fragrance in. A little bit in here. Okay. I'm gonna swirl that around. Okay. I don't think this accelerates, but I want to be careful anyway. Sitting here talking about the fragrance going on, and then be terrible if I forgot to put it in. Well, this soap is going to be amazing, but it still is. It just doesn't smell amazing. Okay. Clean this up. Oh, she used to. She orders delivery. Yeah. Delivery is probably really nice. Like a relaxing way to just have somebody prepare the meals for you. I'm just doing this little extra. It looks like it didn't. If anything, it loosened up the batter. Now, I know it doesn't normally loosen the batter this much, so it might just be because of the way we did this with the heat transfer. Like, it's just not behaving like normal. But I don't think so. Normally it sets up faster. It'd help if I was in frame. Apologize for this taking so long here. I'm going to go a little higher speed and see if that helps. It's doing something funny. See how it's breaking apart there? Interesting. That's pretty cool. I just have to start or mix it a little bit longer to get that to mix back together. This is, I think this is called ricing when it does this. If this happens to you, don't worry about it. Just keep mixing. It almost always mixes back together. And I will say this is not the fragrance because I've used this fragrance 100 times and just never done this before. So this is something else. This is maybe, I used a little bit, because I knew I was going to do the heat transfer method, I used a little bit more water than I normally would. That could be what's causing this. There's a couple other things that, I mean, it could be anything, but just keep mixing. It mixes back together. And also the white that I use, that titanium dioxide, I do mix it with olive oil, so that kind of throws everything off a little bit because I'm introducing more oil into the recipe, so that could have something to do with it as well. But my guess is that, hopefully anyway, we'll end up with some glycerin rivers. That'd be cool. My stick blender is not appreciating this abuse. Okay. I have a plan. And let me go get plan B. 1 second. All right. There it is. All right, so plan B is this. This is my second stick blender. I always keep a second one on hand. If my first one starts to struggle or something, I pull this out. This is just another stick blender. They're all different. Stick blenders are all different. This one though, I kind of don't like to use it on small batches like this because the motor is a little bit stronger. And the reason that's a bad thing is because it will go from, you know, completely separate, oil and water, light water mixed together to soap on a stick in half a second, which is not good, especially if I'm doing like floral fragrances. I want it mixed together a little bit slower. So that white blender is so much better for almost all my recipes. But this is so strong that it like sucks itself down to the bottom and it splashes and stuff, and it's a major pain. So like I said, this is really good for larger batches or this situation, like when my other blender is starting to struggle. The noise is bothering me. Let me put this down so I can absorb some of that. There we go. That's better. Put it back in here. Trying not to introduce bubbles as much as possible. If this does not, now this looks like it is starting to come together. It's thickening up a little bit. If it doesn't, I can always remake it. I think I just probably put in a little too much water. But this is good for you guys to see what happens if something goes wrong. And usually these things are salvageable, so it's not a problem. Hi, Patty. Welcome. Oh, I see. You guys are talking about the separation. Yeah. And see how it's kind of clumping together. It's like almost like a cottage cheese or something. Okay. All right. Let's see if this side. Okay, this side is thickening up, but it's not separating, so that's fine. And this is actually starting to thicken up too, so we might be okay once we get it poured in. As long as it doesn't continue to separate after it's poured in, it'll be fine. And if not, I can always make it again. Like if this doesn't want to come together, because it could also be that that extra oil that I put in with the titanium dioxide, it might have just been maybe a combination of that and the water was just too much, but it should be fine. Oh, I have an idea. So what we'll do, because I was thinking I wanted to do a swirl, but I have an idea instead. Get the little orange crumbs. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll pour this gold in here since it doesn't look like it's separating. So I will pour it in there and then let it kind of set up. And then when the white is ready, I'll pour it over the top so it'll have like a cool, like a gold base. And then the rest of the soap will be sitting on top. That'll be really cool looking. Let's try that and see how that looks. I'll pour it into the corners. and tap out the air bubbles. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside, and then we'll continue mixing this white. I think it's almost there, but let's just keep going. Yeah, it's holding together. It's like it looks like glisten rivers. Yeah, it looks like it does. It does look like spoiled milk. You're right. But I tell you what, it doesn't smell like it. It smells heavenly. So this is the first time I've had one behave this badly. Normally I just stick blend it together and it just works. So this is the first time I've had one that didn't just come right back together immediately. And so this is good. It's good to see like what can go wrong. Although I'm not 100% sure what caused it. I think it's just a combination of too much oil maybe and the extra water I added. But there's still a chance that it'll just come back together and be fine too. So until it sets up, we won't know for sure. Oops. Those air bubbles out. Oops. This reminds me of hot processing soap, and this jug it's in is getting hotter and hotter. And I wonder if that's actually what's happening. If this is starting to go like through its gel phase. If that's the case, then probably if I just keep mixing it and just treat it like a hot process soap, normally you would have this like heat underneath this, like in a pot or something, but like a slow cooker. But if it does start to go through gel phase, at that point I could probably just put it in the mold, and then it should be fine. But we'll see what happens here. I broke the soap. Yes, I know. Yeah, see how it's like it's holding its shape, but it's just not holding. It's got to hold itself together. Get all this soap off the table and stuff. Got on my arm, which is not a big deal, but there we go. Make sure it's in frame here so you guys can see. So I guess this is a exciting turn of events. Kind of curious to see what happens if we just let it sit here for a second. I want to see what it does. I'm going to see if it separates in the bowl, which it might do. If it is actually like continuing, just I want to like mess with it, but I don't want to dirty my gloves. If it does continue to separate, though, you'll start to see like oil seep out from between the pieces, and I think that That might be what's happening. I'm starting to see it like pool right there. So sooner or later we will have cheese. That's right, that's right. And that's fine too. Like if this doesn't work out, it can always be rebatched into a new soap. So either we could grate it up and do like a hot process with it, um, or I could do like a shredded soap cold process thing. It'd be kind of cool to try a couple different methods. This is really getting warm. Okay. Let's let it sit again for a second and see what happens. I'll even... it's so weird because it's holding like its shape, but it's not holding on to the oil. The oil is pooling out still. I wonder if it's just too much oil. But normally you can have a really, really high superfat and it doesn't matter. Do you guys remember we did that 20% superfat soap before? So okay, well this is starting to really thicken up nicely anyway. I do think that what's happening is it's starting to hot process itself because it's really getting hot. I think what we'll do is let it sit for a minute. And because I still want to make this soap, let's see, do I have one more thing of oils prepared. I think what we'll do, because, I mean, honestly, if I end up with 2 sets of this soap, I'm not going to be mad. But I'm thinking maybe we could just try it again, but I'm getting cheesy. I don't know if I'm ever not cheesy. Okay. Yeah, this is just like a thick soap batter now. Just that it's turning itself into curds. Let me just give that a minute. We'll give it a minute. I don't want to jump to conclusions and make a whole new batch if this behaves itself. It is getting warm, and like I said, if we can get it to the gel stage, and if we can get it to mix together, then we'll be fine. We could even probably not the smartest thing to do in a plastic container. We can kind of help it warm up. This would be much better to do in like ceramic, like I said, like a crock pot. I do have a little crock pot that I use for hot processing soap, but it's not available right now. It's one that I use only for my soaps. I'd have to go and get it, which is going to take a little bit of time. Let me just scrape on the sides here. I know sometimes soap looks like food, but I don't think this is what they had in mind. Okay. I'm cleaning off the spatula, trying to get as much off as I can. And let's try this again. See, it's, oh, that's just a shadow. Never mind. Yeah, I've literally never had it, except unless it was like hot processing soap. I've never seen this happen, or rather, I've never had it happen to me like this. Normally, when it rices, I just stick blend for a couple of extra minutes, and it smooths out and comes out perfectly normal, and pour the soap, and there's no problem. Yeah, Ian is missing out. He's missing out on. Somebody go tell him he's missing out. I'll try this again. No, honestly, might be my imagination, but I feel like it's doing something. I think what it's doing is going through saponification. So I'm really tempted just to pour it, because I think we'll just end up with glycerin rivers. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, because I like glycerin rivers, but I'm completely biased. So when you're doing like hot process, this is like the like, I don't know, like the applesauce stage or something. I forget. They have all these names for them. But then it'll start to get like, well, I added all these colors, so maybe not, but it would start to go. There's like a stage where it starts to go clear. It starts to look like Vaseline. And you could pour it into molds at that point, I guess, but it's not really pourable. It's soft, but it's not, super liquidy. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to really firm up. I'm going to put it in the mold while I can. This might be premature, but because it might, depending on what it's doing, this might be too soon. But I also can't wait too much longer, because if this turns into soap on a stick, I'll be in trouble. More trouble than I already am. All right, let's move this out of the way, get up all the spills. Okay. And this is firmed up nicely. So what I will do here is, this is a risk, this is a chance. This could turn out horrible, or we might just have glycerin rivers, and I like glycerin rivers, so that's what I want to have happen. Oh, this is so hot. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Going to carefully pour it in. I don't want to mess up that bottom layer. I like the idea of it having like a gold base. I think that's kind of cool. Okay. So, beautiful, perfect, creamy. I mean, totally nothing went wrong here. Nothing to see here. Oh, I bet this would make really cool soap dough. I mean, once you mix it up, you won't be able to see the cheesy anymore, but Oh, that's a line. Never mind. I drew that on there. Okay. So let's just kind of sort of, just going to put a little bit of texture on top, try to flatten it out. I know it's not going to be smooth, so I'm not going to, it's not going to look smooth, so there's no point in forcing that. Oh, I forgot to get the, whatever it's called, the thing to measure. I forgot to, yeah, boy. I'm going to scoop this out like this and kind of push it down. And what I'm going to do is leave this in here, actually, like this, kind of clumped together down at the bottom, because what I'll do is later on I'll check it and see if there's any like major separation, or I'll kind of cut it in half and see if there's anything funny going on the inside. That will kind of give us an idea maybe of what's going on here, so that there's no bad surprises later. Maybe. You never know, though. You never know. Okay, we gotta get these orange slices in, but I want to measure this. Yeah, honestly, it looks like it's still trying to separate on me, but I want to get this. I want this edge cleaned up because I want to be able to measure and write on it. And also, yeah, it's definitely there's some oil pooling there. Okay, so this might be a rebatch. Instead of putting the oranges and wasting them, I think we will remake the soap and we will put the oranges in the new one. But in the meantime, we'll have like a cool little design. Sometimes the oil will reabsorb. Soap is kind of funny like that. So even though it, the oil is kind of escaping right now, sometimes it'll just get reabsorbed back in. I've seen that happen. I don't know. You guys want to try putting the oranges in and just see what happens? It's kind of exciting. See what kind of thing happens. Doesn't look bad now that it's in the mold. Yeah, it seems to be attempting to cooperate anyway. So we can use these lines here that I've already got drawn because that shows me the. Let's go ahead and just put the oranges in. Living on the wild side. I'm pretty sure this is a terrible idea, but if this doesn't work out, I have more oranges. So okay, this is not quite the middle. There we go. Okay, and then put one here. I've wanted to put oranges in my soap for a really long time. I've seen some really, really pretty designs. There's some really nice ones for fall that I want to do next year with like spices or something. That'd be really pretty. Maybe like with clove, like orange and clove or something. I think that'd be really nice. This needs a little more space, I think. Okay, so I don't know. This is a mystery. Like I said, I've never had this happen to this extent before. Where I've done the heat transfer method before too, because sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to wait for everything to get to room temperature. I just pour it all in. I've literally never had it separate so bad that it wouldn't just blend together. Um, this has literally never happened before. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at my recipe and see if maybe I miscalculated something somewhere because um, it could be that I added too much of the white that had the olive oil in it, and maybe there's just too much oil. The lye can't like hold it together. Or the water. Although, I mean, I've added a lot of oil before, no problem. Added a lot of water before, no problem. It might have been a combination of both things together that did this. So you guys vote to save them. Whoops. Okay, just put the one. Yeah, the chat I think has a delay because I'll ask a question and then like wait around and won't see a response, and then I'll go and do something, and then I'll look back and see that you guys have answered. So I think that there's just a big delay on the chat. So I apologize. I should just I don't know. I wish there was a way I could put like a vote in the chat and just have it click. But I guess there'd be a delay on that. That wouldn't help anything. I don't know. I guess what can I say? It's technology. It's not going to be perfect. Just like the soap. Yeah, the soap is seeping oil right here. I can see it pooling. But that's, like I said, that's fine. It can reabsorb. I've seen it do that. Or this could be a total flop. But I have more oranges, so that's not a problem. In fact, I have quite a few oranges. I think I'll be okay. So I will, if this does completely flop, if the oil doesn't reabsorb, if it just like, so also this could crumble when I cut it if it's not held together enough. Um, if it crumbles or anything like that, I'll just rebatch it or whatever, and we will try again with new oranges. Um, but I like this idea. I do like this fragrance, so I'm gonna, one way or another, I'll use the soap as long as it's usable. I'll find a use for it. Hold on. There we go. I had to take the face shield off. So yeah, this was supposed to be showing you guys how to do the heat transfer method and everything, and instead it turned into I this would have turned into, if I had my what do you call it, the slow cooker. If I had that available, this would have turned into how to hot process. Problem with hot process is that it takes way longer, because you put it over gentle heat and you stir it over usually the course of like a couple of hours at least. So this would have been a really long video if I had done that, but at least I could have started it and then the next day shown you how it looked. So if this starts to really seep bad and it's not reabsorbing, I might go ahead and just hot process it and show you how it looks tomorrow. Or next on the next live, I mean on Thursday. If that happens, either I won't have the two-tone look, or like the gold will get mixed in with the white, or what will probably happen is that gold will turn into soap just fine, and then this top might be too crumbly or whatever, and we have to rebatch it. So, anyways, we'll see. There's a lot of things that could happen, and I guess we'll get there when we get there, and we'll find out. Oh, hey, look, there's a little bit of this gold left. Maybe we can do a pretty drizzle on top, or yeah, never mind. It's too thick. Well, maybe not. It's not. It's not so bad. I don't know. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to fiddle with it and then just make this process more difficult later, in case I have to redo it. Let's see what he's saying. Yeah, I don't know how to do the polls either. Um. Oh, mainly for the big channels. That could be. Yeah, I do have the gold dusting stuff. That's right. Yeah, here we go. Ta-da! I totally forgot about that. Thank you. I'll just spray on a little bit of gold dust. Ooh, that's cool. It's like toast. It looks like toasted marshmallow. Let me. If I do it from like an angle, then it looks all toasty on top. That's kind of pretty. Yeah, there we go. So we got a little bit of gold. A little bit of. Camera's not going to focus probably, but so. There you go. That gives some interest to it. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot. I was totally absorbed in whatever I was doing here. Step away from the soap. I know. I need to step away and just like stop fiddling with it. But I'm so intrigued. I want to see what happens. I'm like watching it, like waiting for the oil. Like what is it going to do? Like seep out and pour all over the table? Like in the next 5 minutes? I don't think so. It's going to be an hours or days long process of me stressing for nothing because I want to see what happens. So whatever. Anyway, so we'll probably do another one of these. Just a second. Had to get a sip of water. My cough was threatening to come back. Um, Thursday we will either be doing another one of these, or I will do it on my own and we can cut it, or I don't know. Either that or and possibly both. We will try out that "'Tis the Season" fragrance, which has more of like a. It's similar to this one, but it has a little bit less. Um, how do I put it? It doesn't have like the really formal, like this one smells kind of almost like formal and really sophisticated. The "'Tis the Season" one smelled more like, had more like juicy apple notes, like apple cider and stuff like that too. This has that, but it's less. It's more about the spices and the nostalgia and everything. So they're both very holiday-esque fragrances, but different and both good. So anyhows, that is the plan for Thursday. We'll have the big reveal of this oil cake and the the disaster of the oil cake. And probably I will be remaking it, and then also we will be probably doing the "'Tis the Season." That's the goal anyway. We may also do something like the carpet sprinkles or something. I don't know. It um, depends on what I have. I'm kind of going back and forth because I have some ideas, and I'm like, I want to try this and I want to try that. So, anyways, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This was a lot of fun. It's interesting whenever something goes wrong, you get to learn something, and also you get to see another side of soap making. So this is new for me because, like I said, I've never had one that didn't come together. So this is very fascinating. We'll have to do some research and find out what I did wrong. But anyway, I'll see you guys on Thursday, and I hope you guys have a great night. And see you guys soon.